Hey look, it's another pinball video game on ancient video game hardware. And it's actually pretty good. How about that? So once upon a time in 1981, yours truly was born and the world was worse off. But also Atari put out Video Pinball, the obligatory they did the best they could with what they had take on pinball for Atari 2600, and we already looked at that one last year. Today, however, we look at Pinball, released in 1983 for Intellivision, being played off the Intellivision Sprint system that was released a short while ago, hence the beautiful HD picture you're seeing right now. Don't get too excited, this ain't gonna last long. But anyway, it's Pinball on your Intellivision, where they somehow managed a whole pinball table layout on a single screen. You hold down on the discs to pull the plunger, and you press the left buttons or left numerical keys to use the left flippers, the right buttons or right numerical keys to use the right flippers. You can hold up on the disc to nudge the machine and play a pinball table. That's pretty much the whole deal right there. You do well enough, you'll unveil a hole that will take you to another layout, and apparently there's 3 of these table layouts that you could play through, which is more than what you got with the Atari version. Now, whether you get to see those tables is another story that is entirely dependent on mad pinball skills that I seem to lack half the time, but regardless, you're still getting a pristine interpretation of the pinball experience on Intellivision. I mean, the controls are sublime in this regard, giving you enough options to move the flippers, one of the few cases where using the number pad is actually a benefit for something relatively simple. But also just in terms of the overall physics, the way the ball bounces around the table and all that jazz, it feels just so natural and so fluid, everything seems to work the way it's supposed to, and it just boils down to your skills and basic ability to get good. This turned out to be a genuine surprise because I wasn't expecting a pinball video game on early 80s video game tech not made in Japan to replicate the experience. I'd figured the most I'd get is a prettier looking version of what was on Atari, but no, this actually plays really well, and has features that even pinball on Famicom lacked, like nudging and multiple layouts. Pinball on Intellivision does play a more challenging game, however. It's a nut that'll take a while to crack, but once you do, there's a fun time to be had. Obviously, the game looks the part. You can make out all the flippers, bumpers, drains, and all the other gimmicks. Nice round shapes and curves make the layout a little more pretty. No flicker, no graphical glitches, even the title card feels special. The only real downside is the sound output, which is passable generic sound effects. Nothing special there, but that's okay. The rest of the game, I feel, more than makes up for it. Overall, Pinball on Intellivision turns out to be quite a delight. A perfectly solid interpretation of a pinball table with some proper physics, functional controls, and multiple layouts to play through. This unsurprisingly blows Video Pinball out of the water, and even holds its own against the later Midnight Magic game that will hit 2600 in 1989. All in all, a pretty strong outing of pinball on the Intellivision Master Component thing that's worth checking out if you're into vintage pinball video game things.